On June 10, 2026, residents of Balasore district in Odisha woke up to an unusual sight. District authorities, along with police and disaster management teams, carried out a large-scale evacuation of over 11,442 people from 11 villages and hamlets located within a 3.5-kilometer radius of Launchpad 3 at the integrated test range in Chandipur. Livestock also were shifted to safer locations. This was not due to any natural calamity, but a standard large-scale safety protocol ahead of a major DRDO missile test. Hello and welcome to NewsX Deep Dive with me, Shivani Singh. Today we talk about how India has now joined an elite group of nations with robust ballistic missile defense and precision anti-ship strike abilities. The massive evacuation in Balasore signaled that something significant was underway. What followed over the next 48 hours were 3 consecutive, highly successful missile test flights that have fundamentally altered India's strategic deterrence landscape. These trials, conducted from the integrated test range off the Odisha coast, have validated critical technologies for a robust multi-layered ballistic missile defense system as well as advanced naval strike capabilities. These back-to-back successes conducted from the integrated test range off the Odisha coast represent a significant leap in India's strategic deterrence architecture and underscore the progress of the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in high-end defense technologies. Before we actually get into the details of each of these tests, let's take a look at a video from one of those tests on June 10th. Following the successful evacuation and all safety clearances, DRDO launched the first major test on June 10th. This involved an advanced next-generation Exo-atmospheric interceptor missile designed to engage and destroy incoming ballistic missiles outside the Earth's atmosphere at altitudes exceeding 100 kilometers. The interceptor, supported by indigenous long-range tracking radars, satellite-based early warning sensors, and high-powered onboard seekers, achieved a direct kinetic hit on a simulated intermediate-range ballistic missile target. Now, this test specifically validated the upper tier of India's multi-layered shield, the first line of defense that neutralizes threats in the mid-course phase before the incoming missile can re-enter the atmosphere, deploy decoys, or release multiple independent targetable re-entry vehicles. The precision demonstrated in this high-altitude interception has significantly boosted confidence in India's ability to handle long-range ballistic threats. Building on the momentum of the previous day, the DRDO then conducted the second critical trial on June 11th. This focused on the endo-atmospheric or lower layer of the ballistic missile defense system. The advanced interceptor engaged its target at lower altitudes within the Earth's atmosphere, where extreme speeds, atmospheric friction, heat, and rapid maneuvering make interception one of the most complex challenges in missile defense technology. The missile showcased outstanding maneuverability, high-velocity terminal guidance, and successful hit-to-kill capability. By successfully validating both exo-atmospheric and endo-atmospheric layers within a span of 24 hours, India has now demonstrated a credible multi-tiered BMD architecture. This system is capable of engaging threats across different flight phases, from mid-course to terminal, ranging from short-range ballistic missiles to potential intercontinental ballistic missile class threats. This places India firmly alongside an elite group of nations, the United States, Russia, China and Israel, that possesses operational multi-layered ballistic missile defense capabilities. Later on June 11th, DRDO achieved yet another significant milestone with the maiden flight trial of the indigenously developed naval anti-ship missile medium range launched from a naval platform. The missile executed a classic low-level sea scheming flight profile, flying just a few meters above the sea surface to evade enemy radar detection. Now, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh promptly congratulated the DRDO scientists, Indian Armed Forces personnel and defence industry partners involved in these tests. He described the results as a proud moment for the country and emphasized that these successes have firmly positioned India in the elite club of countries with comprehensive ballistic missile defense capabilities up to ICBM class threats. All three systems have been developed with a very high degree of indigenous content, covering propulsion systems, composite materials, advanced radars, command and control networks and AI-enabled guidance algorithms. This reflects the growing maturity of India's defense research and development ecosystem. In summary, the three successful missile trials conducted on June 10th and 11th, 2026 are far more than technical achievements. They mark a transformative chapter in India's defense journey, a powerful declaration of strategic maturity, self-reliance and unwavering commitment to safeguarding national sovereignty in an increasingly complex global security environment. Let's discuss these achievements further with Captain Shyam Kumar, who is a former Navy officer, and Major General A.K. Subaj, Senior Defence Expert. I thank you both for taking out your time and for speaking to NewsX. Let's start off this discussion with General Subaj. General Subaj, this places us in a very elite group of countries that have an operational, multi-layered defense system that prevents us from threats of ICBMs as well.
Absolutely. Shivani, one must understand India has a no first use policy, and it means that we are not going to use a nuclear weapon first time. It will be only in case the enemy utilize it, we will able to intercept it, and then we will do a retaliatory fight. That is called a second strike capability. That is the minimum deterrence which we have. Now, if you want to not use nuclear weapon as a first time, then you must have a very viable ballistic missile defense, and that's what where we have now able to achieve it. Remember that as far as Pakistan is concerned, they have missile called Fateh 1 and Fateh 2, which are very potent weapon system they have, and this they have got it from the China. Now, if we have to able to neutralize them, you have to neutralize them at two places. One is the exo-atmosphere and then the endo-atmosphere. The exo-atmosphere is the outer space wherein you will able to hit them and you should able to destroy them. But should it they able to come again, then you will able to hit with the inner space, that is endo-atmosphere. So you must have a very viable defense system against a ballistic missile, and this is the integrated defense system, and it is this architecture is very important for your defense and also prove to the world that you have a very potent second strike capability. Now remember, we already are tried. You know, we are the country which can fire a nuclear weapon from under the sea, from the sea, from the earth and from the air. These are the only 5 countries. It means we have also displayed to the world that should any country utilize a nuclear weapon against India, then we have a capability of a second strike and we will able to hit them hard. In addition to that, we have now this inter-ballistic missile defense, which is become very important because these range are very important. They go to exo-atmosphere and endo-atmosphere. If you remember in basically Operation Sindhu, where you have a multi-layered air defense system, which you have S-400, you have Akash, you have a Barrack missile, you have also Jet-23 and Barrel L-70. they were basically against a cruise missile and missile which have range about 1,000 kilometers. But the missile which are inter-ballistic missile, inter-range ballistic missile, they go up inside exo-atmosphere and then come to endo-atmospheric force. So there you need a very difference of defense system. That is what we have developed now, and we have displayed it, and this is accreditable. And the second thing is basically this anti-ship missile which we have done
in fact, let me rope in Captain Kumar into this discussion. Captain Kumar, another thing that the DRDO test fired was the maiden trial of this anti-ship missile that they in fact tested medium range, and it was launched from a naval platform. I want to understand, Captain Kumar, how critical is this for the Indian Navy, and what gap is this filling?
Thank you, Shivani. Jai Hind, Son of Varuna. First of all, congratulations to the entire team of DRDO and the armed forces for giving this country a gift of interceptors, that is ballistic missile defense, against the intermediate range ballistic missiles, both exo-atmospheric and endo-atmospheric. We are looking forward for the third chapter, in which we'll be looking at ICBMs countermeasures and the hypersonic missiles, re-entry maneuverable missiles, where a missile will deliver many targets and they have to be destroyed. We are looking forward for the Sudarshan Chakra and integration of Akash Tir, S-400 and the air defense system of the fleet, that is Nipun. All this together makes the Sudarshan Chakra. So it is in that direction. Coming to the air-to-surface missile launched by the helicopter earlier, we have done it with the Seeking 42 Bravo helicopter. I have been flying that helicopter and I have been doing it for very, very years. I have been seeing it very closely. We were using Sea Eagle missiles of the UK made, and now we have changed it with the 50 kilometers range of DRDO developed air-to-surface missile against the ship firing. It's very important to understand that at ship, surface-to-surface missile capability we have by BrahMos. All the naval ships are equipped with BrahMos, which is a long-range cruise missile, and we will be able to fire at a ship over the horizon target. But for the medium range, we need air-to-surface missiles like this missile which has been developed at medium range. So 130 kilometers, we will be able to fire at a ship, and not by helicopters, also by the fighter aircraft, that is INS Vikramaditya, INS Vikrant Vaughn naval fighter aircraft. So remember, with this, we have short-range missiles, we have medium-range missiles which have been developed now, and we have the BrahMos which are fitted in all ships. So almost 400 to 500 kilometers around a fleet, we are now sanitizing any air threat from all around. There are no bushes, there are no mountains, there are no lanes to hide at sea. You are open. So therefore, air defense system has to be very, very important. So a threat to the surface ships of the adversaries is visible with these advancements. And I congratulate the naval team for the success of indigenous developed air-to-surface missile, both from helicopters and now from the fighter aircraft. We also have the capability of firing them from MR aircraft, maritime patrol aircraft, which has long endurance, and it can have a better threat margin. So therefore, all three capabilities India would have in future. Over to Shivani.
All right. Thank you so much, General Sivach and Captain Kumar, for your valuable perspective on this issue.
बीमारी हुई तो पता लगा कि हॉस्पिटल का बिल